One Sports, the Star Ledger, and NJ.com present the New Jersey State High School Game of the Week. Fios One, bringing you the world outside your door. The Star Ledger and NJ.com, everything Jersey.
From the State University of New Jersey, Rutgers University, Verizon, Fios One Sports, the Star Ledger, and NJ.com bring you the New Jersey High School Boys Basketball State Championships. And in the Group 1 final, it's the Pitman Panthers at 24-7, taking on the Bloomfield Tech Spartans at 23-5. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Piscataway, New Jersey. Danny Breslauer, Devale Ellis, here with you. Pitman and Bloomfield Tech, two teams with very contrasting styles to get here to the final.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For Pitman, they like to slow things down. They want a defensive slugfest. But for Bloomfield, they like to run a little bit, and they like to run behind those athletic guards.
They do, and in our Star Watch today, we'll begin with Pitman's Villanova-bound forward in Tim Delaney.
Tim Delaney, man, 6'9", broad shoulders. He gets a lot of things done on a defensive end, but he can score. 1,500 points in his career, 1,000 last year's. I'm excited to watch him play, Danny.
And for Bloomfield Tech, no surprise. They're an up-and-down type team, and they have a junior stat sheet stuffer named Deshaun Burke.
Listen, there's nothing he can't do, man. He averages almost 19 points a game, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. He fills up the stats. He gets things done offensively and defensively. Exciting guy to watch. And seeing as though they like to run so much, he's going to have to be the catalyst for that offense.
Group 1 means the smallest schools in the state, but not in stature today. Two big-time teams, Pitman and Bloomfield Tech. Who moves on to the Tournament of Champions? We'll find out next on Verizon Fios One Sports with the Star Ledger and NJ.com. Today's game brought to you by Watch ESPN. Live ESPN on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Watch ESPN. It's the other way to watch ESPN. Danny Breslauer, Devale Ellis, back with you at the Rutgers Athletic Center for the Group 1 final in boys basketball. It's Pitman and Bloomfield Tech in Piscataway. Time now for the starting lineups for both teams. For the Panthers out of Gloucester County, it's Eric Stafford along with Darnell Foreman, Matt Spicer, Tyler Wisniewski, and the Villanova-bound Tim Delaney. For Bloomfield Tech, Malcolm Manning, the point guard, with Deshaun Burke, our highlight player, Solomon Pierre, Ramir Dixon Conover, and the shot blocker, David Lunsford. Head coaches, first for Pitman, is Kevin Crawford in his 6th season, the former player at Camden Catholic for his father, also at Monmouth University and Rowan. And on the Bloomfield Tech side, Brad Howard in his 2nd year played at Kane after going to high school at Arts in Newark prior to becoming a head coach at Bloomfield Tech, heavily involved in youth coaching. Time now for the Verizon 411 keys to the game with Devale.
And we talked about it earlier for Pitman, that half-court game. They like to play that defense and perimeter shooting. They're going to have to get these guards hot early. For Bloomfield Tech, they got to force turnovers to get that tempo going. They have to get these guys on the outside, Deshaun Burke, get him moving fast-paced to get the score up.
The Crawford Crazies, the student section for Pitman. Kevin Crawford is a history teacher at Pitman High School, and apparently a very popular one, as the 6th-year head coach has a Cameron Crazies-like following from his students. Pretty cool.
That's amazing. You gotta love the support the students can bring. It's almost like a home game. They're so loud. Support for the team and the coach.
Clad in orange tonight are those Crawford Crazies supporting Pitman. Out of the Tri-County Conference in Gloucester County, Bloomfield Tech from the Super Essex, same as Newark Eastside, which just won the Group 3 championship here. Group 1 title will be off and running. The blacks with the blue trim for Bloomfield Tech, your officials, Pete McGuire, James Colano, Dennis McCaffrey, Pitman in the whites. And off we go in the Group 1 championship game. Running the point will be Darnell Foreman, the St. Anthony of Jersey City transfer. Played his early high school ball for Bob Hurley. He's the catalyst, the leading scorer, but not necessarily the focal point of the offense, but he makes them go. Always need a guy like that, Devale.
Absolutely.
You'll see Pitman slow it down. A lot of 3-man weave. This is how they beat the number 10 team in the state, Point Pleasant Beach.
Well, this is what they want to do, man. They want to run the clock, limit the other team's opportunities to get the ball in their possession and get efficient baskets.
Delaney inside will get his own board, and you can see what Jay Wright likes about him heading to Nova.
Hey, he talked about his broad shoulders. You take a look there, man. He can clear out the paint with ease. He's a strong guy down low. He's 6'8", but very physical.
In our Group 3 title game, Newark Eastside led wire to wire against Ewing, but here, Pitman a quick start against Bloomfield Tech is missing from deep was Ramir Dixon Conover. Foreman, the pull-up from 14. Tim Delaney's a monster on the glass. And this South Jersey school has some trees down there to work, and they'll get a third opportunity.
As you see them slow it down, this is what they want to do, Danny. The reason why, this is almost like ball control in football. If you keep the ball in your possession, you limit the other team's offensive possessions and looks at the rim. They get cold offensively.
Delaney +1.
And when you got a truck down there who can just swallow up the ball and make things happen, it's in your best interest to keep the ball on your side. As you can see, Delaney here, man, plays so well with the back to the basket. Able to finish with the contact.
He's fouled by the 6'7" senior center for Bloomfield Tech, David Lunsford. He has 83 blocks on the year. Delaney with 11 points in that upset of Point Pleasant Beach, 47-36, knocking out Notre Dame-bound Matt Farrell from the Tournament of Champions, where they went last year, did Point Beach. Kevin Crawford telling me this week, it all came together. No one gave us a chance, but he has his third kid this week. We'll get into that story later, and then goes out and beats Point Beach.
He's been there before.
He has.
Look at this defense. Strong defense. Big anchor inside. They run the 2-3. No pressure from the guards. They dare you to shoot, but they're going to protect the middle.
They drive, and it looks like Delaney will pick up a foul as Ramir Dixon Conover got the baseline. They can ill afford to get Delaney in foul trouble.
You can see here, for Bloomfield, they're going to have to run a good offensive set, man, and try to get some outside perimeter shots going early to kind of spread that defense out a little.
Dixon Conover filled up the stat sheet in a come-from-behind win over Cedar Grove in the Group 1 semifinals. And he'll hit the first. 11.5 points per game for Brad Howard, to go along with 8.7 rebounds per game. He and Burke fill it up. Burke got the board and threw it off of Tyler Wisniewski.
See the hustle play from Burke there. Great athlete. Hustle is how he fills up the stat sheet with steals and rebounds.
Brad Howard admitting this week it's tougher to do your research on these South Jersey schools like Pitman. They don't necessarily play the same opponents as you. He did say he's not surprised they beat Point Beach, and he wasn't looking forward to seeing either team in a Group 1 final. It's been 7 years since Bloomfield Tech won a Group 1 title. The tip back won't go as Pierre followed up the miss by Burke.
And this is the type of game Pitman wants. You see, already 2.5, almost 2:40 off the clock. And the score is 1-4. They've only had 2 possessions on defense.
Foreman in the right corner. He goes to Matt Spicer. The 3-year varsity starter got it back. He's a glue guy, and Stafford, who is the veteran of this team, will back it out. He's going to Lafayette. More than 1,000 points in his career. Was part of an outstanding team that they had 4 years ago when he was a freshman. And monster block by Lunsford as Foreman got loose inside, and a held ball will go back to Bloomfield Tech.
Huge block. Way to hustle. That seemed like that was about to be an easy basket. Point blank range. He goes up. Great recovery.
An 84th block on the year for Lunsford in just 29 games. He's their only senior starter. He's the team dad, says Brad Howard, checking in on guys, making sure they're in bed at the correct hour. Nearly midway through quarter number 1, and this is exactly the kind of game that Bloomfield Tech did not want to see. Pitman keeping it low scoring early. Step back by Dixon Conover won't go. Weak side board to Spicer. Foreman's blocked by Lunsford. Put back by Wisniewski is short. And I mentioned that time period, 03 to 07, Bloomfield Tech won 4 titles in 5 years. Steal by Wisniewski. And in that stretch, names such as Deshaun Butler, West Virginia, Courtney Nelson, Rutgers, Kasim Drummond, Villanova. they were very good.
That's what you call production. Producing Division I athletes. Says a lot about the program, the coaching staff. Look at the strong move by Delaney.
That's a future Big East post player for Villanova. Tim Delaney has all 6 of Pitman's points.
He's built like a tight end.
Solid defensively, too, from a basketball family. Wisniewski's been great defensively as he turns away the 5'7" Malcolm Manning.
See how they slow the game down. The score is 6-1.
Delaney trying to feel it from distance, and a strip away by Dixon Conover. This is what Bloomfield Tech wants to do. Get in transition. He just straight up lost that basketball. And Foreman got it. Oh, what a bounce to Wisniewski. It's 8-1.
And this is the type of game Pitman wanted. Slowed down. The score is 8-1.
4 turnovers for the Spartans, and Kevin Crawford's starting to feel it.
Look, more than half of the time is gone off the clock, and they've only had about 4 possessions Bloomfield has on offense. First of all, look at the hustle, the drive down the middle. Look at the eyes. Pinpoint passing, efficient basketball.
Brad Howard forced to go to the bench early. Devin Jones in, sophomore guard. He has the basketball right now. Solomon Pierre will drive. The pull-up's long. Pitman looks incredible defensively early. And when you hold Point Beach to 36, their season low, AP Shalleck to 51, 22 below their average in the South Jersey Group 1 final, you're legit. Stafford looking for an early dagger, missed it short.
The thing I see early about Pitman is the active feet. Look at how they play defense. With their feet, not their hands. They don't reach. They get their bodies in front of bodies.
Stafford forced it a bit. This could be a second tie-up. It'll stay with Pitman. 5 turnovers for Bloomfield Tech, DeVal, through 6 minutes. That is not good.
6 minutes, 1 point.
That is actually the stat that matters more.
They've gotten no shots out of the paint.
Last title for Pitman came after back-to-back titles, 97 and 98. 98 was against Bloomfield Tech as Delaney goes to work, rebound Lunsford. So this matchup, 16 years later, deja vu for Pitman. Our star player here trying to get going as Burke kicked it out to Pierre, who missed a 3.
You can see coach telling him to slow it down, calling out the plays, letting the time wind down, eating up the clock, every trip down the court.
They're 0 of 7 from the floor as Stafford will shoot 2. And this is exactly what Pitman wants to do. Half-court sets, a couple of backdoor cuts. Foul is on Lunsford, his second.
Listen, if Pitman could win this game 26-4, they'd be excited about it.
They would. Stafford will shoot a pair after Lunsford picks up his second. And that's his first point. His dad is an assistant coach at Rowan, and Brad Howard wants a timeout. A 9-1 start for Pitman in the Group 1 final.
A very necessary timeout at this point. 9-1. The entire quarter's almost gone. You've only seen the ball go in the basket one time off a free throw.
You can see with the cuts that Stafford is a coach's son. Let's take a look at our road 2 with the brackets. Semifinals, Bloomfield Tech had to come back from way down in the 4th quarter to beat Cedar Grove in that semifinal, and that sends shockwaves around the state, the one on the bottom. Pitman over number 10 Point Pleasant Beach, led by Farrell, the Notre Dame-bound guard.
Defense. They say it all the time, man. Offense wins games, defense wins championships.
Delaney, a major part of that defensive shutdown. 3 players scored for Point Beach the entire game.
I'm not shocked. I mean, after watching this first quarter, man, it seems like it's going to be eerily similar in this game.
4 of 9.
If teams don't have great perimeter shooters against Pitman, they're going to struggle because they don't allow easy baskets at the cup.
Stafford hits both. 4 of 9 from the floor for Pitman. 0 of 7 for Bloomfield Tech. Taking a seat will be Spicer. And into the game for Pitman is Dave Collinsworth. For Bloomfield Tech, Marcus Bullock-Harris, their 7th man and backup point guard, will come in to try to generate some offense. 10-1, the Gloucester County School. Bullock Harris is short.
And I guarantee you, Pitman's going to hold this ball to within 1 minute. This is what they like to do. They specialize in clock management. Pitman is trying to, Bloomfield is trying to force the issue here. Switching to a man-to-man defense. Trying to force Pitman to move.
Motion offense worked to perfection. Delaney was tied up. No, fouled from behind. It was Devin Jones with the reach in.
And once they get a switch, and you got someone under 6 foot on Delaney, man, that's a mismatch. But look inside, and this is a matchup Delaney's going to win every time.
Steal off the inbounds. One of the few mistakes early for Pitman. Bullock Harris the takeaway. Still no field goals for Bloomfield Tech. 2 turnovers now for Pitman. 5 turnovers for Tech. Blocking a foul. It's on Wisniewski. The drive was by Deshaun Burke, and the guy that Brad Howard calls Plastic Man will shoot 2.
And you see he got him with the offhand. The left hand fouled him. The right hand actually got the clean block. And once again, no easy baskets.
Ready for a line? That's one. 20, 10, and 5 against Cedar Grove in the semis as he hits the first. How about a season line? 18.7 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 4.9 steals a game, and 3.5 assists a game.
Wow.
And he can hit free throws too. Still no field goals for Bloomfield Tech with inside of 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
It's like there's 2 of them.
Plays defense too, as Foreman able to break the pressure.
Well, that's why the stat sheet is the way it is, because he plays defense. Think about it. The steals, the rebounds. You can't have stats like that without playing defense.
Pitman will hold for 1. They would have done it if there was a minute on the clock.
Absolutely.
5 seconds to go in the quarter. Delaney, he traveled. He shuffled his feet when he thought about it. And with 2.1 on the clock, it's turnover number 3 for the Panthers. Quick shot before the end of the quarter for Jones from half court. No field goals for Bloomfield Tech in the first quarter. Pitman will take a 10-3 lead after 1 in front of the Crawford Crazies. Looking for a first state championship since 1998 on Verizon Fios One Sports with the Star Ledger and NJ.com. Pitman holds Bloomfield Tech without a field goal in the first quarter. It's 10-3 Panthers here in the Group 1 championship game. And right now they're led by Tim Delaney, 6 points. Danny Breslauer, DeVal Ellis, back with you at the rack in Piscataway, New Jersey at Rutgers University. Now time to take a look at how Pitman got here. And they did it through a very tough South Jersey Group 1, where they knocked off AP Shalleck in the final, 58-51. And then, as we mentioned before, beating a top 10 team in the state in the Group 1 semis in the short conferences, Point Pleasant Beach. And all while Kevin Crawford had child number 3. It's an 0 of 8 first quarter for Bloomfield Tech.
I'm looking at the stat sheet and I see a bunch of zeros. A lot of zeros.
That would be right. 0%. 0 field goals. Can't have any assists if you don't have field goals. They did hit 3 free throws. That's their score right now. Pitman playing a zone defense, which is a hybrid 2-3-3-2. And a long 2-pointer, one they needed from Ramir Dixon Conover.
And this is the crazy thing. As good as Pitman has played in the first quarter, Bloomfield Tech is only down 5 points.
Nice move there by Stafford to get free all the way to the hoop. Got his own board and the putback.
Hustle, hustle, hustle. Hard.
2 free throws coming up for Bloomfield Tech after Stafford pick up points number 4 for him. Fouls on Darnell Foreman, his first.
You see Pitman here, man. This is just second chance opportunities. Gets the ball at the top, the highest point, doesn't come down with it, goes right back up.
Deshaun Burke had been perfect from the line, will miss the third. He's a junior getting major college looks with incredible athleticism. He now has 3 points.
He's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive to kind of loosen up this zone that Pitman is running.
This week it was all about stressing the history. for Brad Howard and Bloomfield Tech. He brought in Courtney Nelson to speak. Deshaun Butler, who he held in his arms as a baby, said is extremely proud right now. They want to bring things back to the glory days of a decade ago. Pitman, a lot can be said for them too, as Stafford, through some contact, rebound Wisniewski. Everywhere they are in the right spots.
Strong move by Wisniewski. And this is what Bloomfield Tech likes to do. They like to run. I'm not sure that was a design shot off the inbound to run down with no one down in the paint. You got 4 white jerseys down there. You take a long 3. You're down by 8.
6-man, Devin Jones missed it. Delaney will go to work. He's got a mismatch. The fadeaway banker.
And that right there looked easy. Smooth, very smooth.
Game high 10-point lead for Pitman. Dixon Conover to Pierre, who's been very cold in the early going. And now Burke for 3. They're not making anything from the perimeter.
And see, that's going to be the key there. As long as this defense is going to let you shoot 3-pointers, if you miss those, you're going to have a tough game against Pitman.
This is what the Spartans want to do. Run, get layups, maybe a foul. Burke won't get it. Rebound Stafford. 2-on-2. Heady play. Kick out. Spicer. Short.
Spicer got to follow your shot. A little bit too confident there.
Foul on Stafford as Pierre was going up.
Good hard foul. Playoff foul.
Tim Delaney is an incredible post player for Pitman.
That's textbook right there. You wrap that back leg around, give the shoulder, use that arm, fade away off the glass. Tim Duncan would be proud.
Very refined in that post move.
Big fundamentals.
Solomon Pierre, 20 points against Newark Vocational in the section final. A 67-54 win on March 10th. And Pierre is on the board. Collinsworth's back in. Stafford will sit. Brad Howard pumped about that win and then the comeback against Cedar Grove. The lead is now 8 for Pitman, which has led wire to wire. Deshaun Burke had 20 in that win over Cedar Grove, but 12 of them came in the fourth quarter when they absolutely needed it. Foreman to Delaney, way too easy. He already has double figures with 10.
Foreman, man, just carving the defense, getting to the heart, and able to dish.
Pierre, he's tried a few of those and finally knocks down a triple. It is his 68th three-pointer of the year.
And that is what Bloomfield Tech needs more of. They need to knock down some outside perimeter shots to loosen up this defense. Right now, they don't respect the perimeter shooting of Bloomfield Tech.
Foreman all the way. That's what he does very well. Delaney fighting for the board, and it's won by Bloomfield Tech. Burke, and a foul. Uh-oh.
That defense is loosening up. We said Bloomfield Tech needs to run. They're getting the rebounds. They're pushing the ball. Good things happen when you attack the basket. He cuts inside, pushed the shot up, and won.
It's a 5-0 and a 7-2 run. Burke will have to sit with blood, so he won't be able to take the free throw. Oh, check that. It's Pierre who will sit with the blood. It's Burke that will take the free throw. My apologies. Manning back in as Pierre drew blood. Burke has 5 points and 2 boards. After rededicating himself to defense, his offense improved. You mentioned that early, DeVal. And he already has 6 here. And that run is now 6-0 for Bloomfield Tech.
Like I said, as good as Pitman had played in the first quarter, Bloomfield Tech was only down by 5 points because the scoring was just so low. See things start to pick up when you have a streaky shooter. Someone like Deshaun Burke that can score in bunches. Anything within double digits is still a close game.
Michael Scooby Gibson is into the game for Pitman. That's stripped out of bounds and will stay at this end with the Panthers. He wears the number 12. He's a freshman. Michael is his given name. He goes by Scooby. 8 seniors on this Pitman team, so Kevin Crawford feels he's part of the future. Stafford short on the triple. And all the momentum is with the Spartans.
You know, Pitman has gotten cold from outside. I mean, they didn't really shoot well early, but right now Bloomfield Tech is heating up.
Devin Jones. And it's 2 threes in 3 possessions for Bloomfield Tech on a 9-0 run.
1 possession game. Pitman slowing things down again. Listen, as long as Bloomfield Tech can continue to hit perimeter shots, they'll be in the basketball game. If they go cold again, they're going to find themselves in the same spot because they can't score anything inside.
Pitman led by as many as 10 at 16-6. And a travel on Wisniewski. Bloomfield Tech, which has not led, can take the lead.
As you can see here, as he stepped in, he walked right into that three-point shot, nothing but net.
The kids like that move, right? With the 3 fingers to the temple after they hit the threes.
The Carmelo, J.R.
Yes,
Smith, the Jersey guy. Jersey guy, J.R. Smith.
At a St. Benedict's Prep High School in Newark.
Bang, bang.
Good steal by Scooby Gibson. He'll give off to Stafford. Lots of open perimeter shooters. Wisniewski. No. That rattled out somehow.
That touched every part of the rim before it bounced out.
Jones for back-to-back triples. Yes, sir. And Bloomfield Tech leads.
You can see now, if they get hot from the outside, man, they can take control of this game. But you can't rely on the perimeter. You have to be able to score inside as they start to turn the ball over, Pitman does.
2-on-1. Burke lost the handle. He's stripped clean by Foreman. 2 minutes to go in the half. Awesome pace to it. Foreman threw it away. Manning the intercept. This is the game the Super Essex Conference team wants. Burke. That's a big miss for Pitman because Bloomfield Tech was heating up a bit too much.
If you're Pitman, you want to slow things down again. I don't know why they're pushing. They're not really getting the shots they want. They're forcing some things.
Manning's a pass-first point guard, and that's why he'll slow it down. Only averages 2.5 points a game. But he is the crafting point guard. Does it with magistry, says Brad Howard. Jones a little long. (18-8), Pitman led. It is now a 12-0 run for Bloomfield Tech.
You know, Pitman was getting more done when they were forcing the ball down into Delaney. Since then, they've kind of abandoned that, and they settle for jump shots here at the elbow like that one that just went in.
Stafford hits it. He has 4. It's our first tie at 20s apiece. And who says Group 1 basketball doesn't live up to the billing?
Now, this turned out to be a very exciting second quarter after a very slow and sluggish first quarter.
It was Joe and John Crispin in the late 90s. They went on to Penn State, beat UNC in the Sweet 16 for Penn State. They were the ones to lead Pitman in 97 and 98 to back-to-back group titles. The second one over Bloomfield Tech. A lot of history there. Strip. Ahead of the field is Foreman. And Pittman's back in front.
Pitman waits for Burke to fly by before he finishes. It's a great move by Foreman.
The leading scorer is on the board.
No, his basketball IQ is very high.
2 seconds to go in the half. A long 3 for Burke is short. And that's a great half by Pitman despite the 12-0 Bloomfield Tech run. They led 10-3 after a quarter. They take a 22-20 lead into halftime in the Group 1 championship game. Pitman hasn't won a group title since 1998. They're 16 minutes away on Verizon Fios One Sports with the Star Ledger and NJ.com. Today's game brought to you by Watch ESPN, your favorite ESPN sports and shows live anytime, anywhere, on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Watch ESPN, it's the other way to watch ESPN. Group 1 boys basketball final in New Jersey. We're at the Rutgers Athletic Center in Piscataway, New Jersey. Pitman leading Bloomfield Tech 22-20 at the break. Danny Breslauer, DeVale Ellis back with you. And DeVale, time now for the first half highlights.
And early on in the game, it was all Tim Delaney. As you see the big man down low, just utilizing his size and his good footwork. You know, not enough is said about his balance and his ability to catch the ball, find the basket, score off the backboard. The shots he would take are not easy shots. As you see him here, gets the ball, takes the contact, gets it off the glass. Now here's one of my favorite shots. Leans in, fade away off the glass. Like I said early in the broadcast, Tim Duncan will be proud. It seemed like it was going to be Pitman early, but you know what? Bloomfield Tech got on a run. They got things going. It all started with Deshaun Burke. Here able to finish at the glass for the three-point play. They started running, started hitting some outside shots. As you see, one of their outside shots here being made. The team got hot late. Devin Jones there with the shot once and twice. Let me tell you something. If this team can shoot hot in the second half, it's going to be a close game. If they can't shoot, I think Pittman's going to run away with it.
Just 5 field goals for Bloomfield Tech in that first. 3 of them are three-pointers. They did get to the line. Points in the paint, big for Pittman. An 18-2 advantage and 8-0 on second chance. Group 1 championship. The small schools playing big-time basketball. Who will go on to the Tournament of Champions, Pittman or Bloomfield Tech? We'll find out next after this on Verizon Fios on Sports with the Star Ledger at NJ.com. 2 very proud programs. Pittman with the Crispin brothers in the late 90s. And Bloomfield Tech last decade, Deshaun Butler, Courtney Nelson, Kasim Drummond. Group 1 final. Pittman leads Bloomfield Tech by 2. So we start the third. Verizon 411 keys to the game revisited.
You see here, man, half-court game, perimeter shooting for Pittman. Bloomfield Tech, they did force some turnovers in the second quarter, and they played more up-tempo to kind of even the score here as they're down by 2 as the start of the third.
Foul away from the ball. Comes down on Solomon Pierre, his first. The Bloomfield Tech trying to force Kevin Crawford's team into a little extra back cutting, and Brad Howard knowing his team needs to play better defense than they did in that first quarter, where they went behind 10-1. They trailed 16-6 and actually took a 20-18 lead.
I expect Pittman to go back to slowing things down a little bit there. As you see it, they're trying to isolate their bigs. Oh, great move by Delaney. They tried to isolate Delaney early, but able to get him on the cut. Great play design by Pittman.
20 points in the paint, 12 for Delaney. Averaging 13.9 a game. He fought through some hip injuries the last couple weeks. Pierre, corner 3, is short. Foreman will run. He has Wisniewski with him. Foreman, and a foul.
Basketball IQ. He knows when to speed it up and slow it down. You see here, moderate pace. Boom, explosion, gets to the basket and finishes with the contact. You know, he's a court general. You know, he gets in that paint area, he makes good decisions, kicks it out when he needs to, but he also can finish.
Getting a bunch of D2 looks, some low D1s, any 10s. That's the very good conference in Division II. Giving him a lot of looks. As Foreman has 5 and Pittman back up 7. It's a 7-0 run. That will stay with Bloomfield Tech. Mentioned Pittman and the pedigree of Coach Crawford. His father coached at Camden Catholic for 35 years, Jim Crawford, and now his brother Matt has taken over, and Dad has stepped down into an assistant coaching role. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
Pierre misses, another board for Foreman.
My father would never work for me.
Wisniewski, Pittman's first 3. A 10-0 run, a 10-point lead for Pittman, and a timeout for Bloomfield Tech.
And it all starts with that defense. You can see Pittman here, man. Great driving kick, net, nothing but the bottom. Foreman, the court general, like I told you, man, basketball IQ. Don't play hard, play smart.
And the kick out to Wisniewski, who had a big game against Point Beach in that semi. We're at the Rutgers Athletic Center on Rutgers University's Livingston campus in Piscataway, New Jersey. The Group 1 Boys Basketball Championship game for the 6th and final spot in the Tournament of Champions. Danny Breslauer, Devale Ellis here with you on Verizon Fios One Sports with the Star Ledger and NJ.com. It's the Pitman Panthers taking on the Bloomfield Tech Spartans. Pittman led by 7 after a quarter, just by 2 at the half, and on an 8-0 run to start this third quarter.
Game is starting the same way. The second half, is starting the same way the first started. Great defense by Pitman. Efficient basketball.
Bloomfield Tech has not scored in 4 minutes' time. Malcolm Manning's the man that they want to masterfully carve up this zone defense. He hasn't been able to riddle it yet. Dixon Conover. They need a bucket. They haven't been able to get one. They got fortunate with a bounce. And Burke will score plus a foul.
And Foreman wasn't able to corral the rebound. Lost it, found himself in a very tough situation here. And he didn't set his feet, he didn't swipe at the basket. He kind of, just took the contact, giving an easy three-point play for Burke.
I mentioned the nickname Plastic Man from Brad Howard, that he stretches past people. He used to be right-hand dominant, but he scored with his left there to bring Bloomfield Tech with an 8, absolutely.
Being a student of the game, working on your craft. That's how you open the eyes of college scouts.
Delaney for 3. Not part of his game as much lately, but Foreman for the old-fashioned.
Look at the energy from Darnell Foreman. I like this young man. Watch him as he goes up, grabs the rebound, takes the contact, watch the scream to the crowd. Energy.
Did a good job directing it to the crowd and not his opponent, as to avoid a technical foul.
All legal there.
Completes it. 8 for Foreman. Pitman's lead is the biggest, 33-22. A 13-2 run. The team from Gloucester County, you don't get as much respect coming out of South Jersey. It's just the case. North Jersey dominant basketball. Newark East Side, St. Joe's Metuchen, Roselle Catholic, Linden, Newark Tech. All North Jersey or Central Jersey schools in the TOC right now. But this South Jersey school looks primed to join them.
Listen, right now I could say Pittman's defense is probably one of the best we've seen. Very strong inside. And Delaney, man, with a physical presence, so strong. Tough to get any easy baskets.
Kevin Crawford said that some of his experiences in high school, are what drive him in coaching. And he wants these kids to be able to remember these. Wisniewski for a dagger. It's short. It's loose and taken by Burke. It's great ball movement. Solomon Pierre is trapped. An air ball by Jones and over the top. Should be on Pierre. And that is who it is on for his second. Mentioned Crawford's high school prowess. He played at Camden Catholic, one of the top 5 teams in South Jersey back then. Lost in the state final as a freshman to Bergen Catholic. And then a buzzer beater as a junior to Seton Hall Prep. He said he still remembers that game. It motivates him coaching. And they beat a #1 Christian Brothers Academy each of those years, led by Jeff Billett, the former star at Rutgers. David Lunsford has just picked up his 3rd foul.
6'7" Lunsford, man. If he's out of the game, that makes it a lot easier for Delaney on both ends of the court.
2 points in 7 minutes for the Spartans. Wisniewski. It's a great box out by Devin Jones, keeping Delaney.
Yeah. You got to do your best to keep him out.
Midway through the 3rd.
He's giving up 7 inches, man. You got to get a body on a body.
Good cut by Burke. And he got the finish. 10 for Deshaun Burke. Pittman's lead back to single digits. High-low, Stafford to Delaney. Won't get it.
That's such a huge mismatch. I would take that every time. I'd take that shot.
I feel like Delaney needs to be a little more assertive, calling for the ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a little bit more aggressive attacking the basket. Not so much fading away. You have 7 inches and probably about 30 pounds.
Pierre missed that 3 on every part of the rim before. Foreman getting hounded here. And Pitman wants to take the air out of the ball. Bloomfield Tech gets it back.
It's not a bad take by Foreman. Just got to make that shot, man. You get inside that close. There's no trees in there. You know, Delaney's pulling them all out. You got to make that basket.
Brad Howard saying it's a milestone for Bloomfield Tech to be back here. Wasn't part of the previous staff. Came on after being a part of the youth scene as Wisniewski reaches in from behind. But Bloomfield Tech back where they belong at the Group 1 level with their athleticism. They've come so far. Kevin Crawford had to send someone 2 hours north just to scout them.
Wow.
Saw a lot on YouTube. Pull-up miss by Pierre. Got his own board though, and he'll shoot 2.
Good follow by Pierre.
3 fouls on Wisniewski.
You can see here, drives to the basket, pulls up, but then follows his own shot. You see, this is something you young basketball players can watch, man. When you follow your own shot, gives you an opportunity, a second chance points. As you can see, Pierre there, 5 points, already 4 rebounds, very active on the boards.
Misses the free throw there. Hot shooter coming into the program as a freshman, but now he can do a little bit of everything going downhill. Splits a pair, and all of a sudden it's an 8-point game after Pitman had it up at 11. And a little bit of token pressure here from Bloomfield Tech. Ahead of the field, Wisniewski misses. Pitman in a bit of an offensive rut. 4 on 3 for Tech to the hole. Burke missed it.
Refs letting him play. Refs letting him play.
Oh, great pass. Delaney to Wisniewski.
Yes. And I like it. The refs letting them play on both ends of the court. Very physical. This is playoff basketball. It's for a championship.
We saw it in Eastside Ewing too. Bodies on the floor for every loose ball.
Only thing you can ask for as a coach is consistency.
Stays with Bloomfield Tech inside of the final 2 minutes of quarter number 3.
You can see Delaney here, rips down the rebound, looks down court, and chucks it almost 90 feet.
Missed 3 by Pierre, and we won't say that Wisniewski was cherry picking or anything, but he gets the basket. He has 9 points to complement the 12 from Delaney and the 8 from Foreman. They haven't even needed this man. Stafford, their 1,000-point scorer, has 4. Delaney does have 1,500 plus in his career.
And you can see, Danny, the third quarter looks very similar to the first quarter. They came in with 20 points. They've only scored 5 here in the third quarter. As you can see, Pitman now with 15 points.
Foreman with 10 points of his own. Pitman up 12. Their largest lead of the game. And you can see a bit of Bob Hurley style on that drive by Darnell Foreman, the St. Anthony transfer. Big 3 here for Bullock Harris. He missed it short. And out of bounds on the touch-up. Pitman gets it back, and they can smell blood in the water.
You can see now, Pitman has a little bit more confidence, a little bit more pep in their step.
17-5
the lead is up
run.
to 12.
That's right. It was tied at 20 before that 17-5 run. It was our only tie. Final minute of the third quarter for a team that played a big-time schedule. Group 4s, Parochials, Life Center out of Burlington. Foreman, a bit of a force there, and it stays with Pitman. Biggest win of Kevin Crawford's career, he said, was against Point Beach.
You know, excuse me, my
go
bad,
ahead, Devale.
If Foreman wants to become more of a complete point guard, he has to be able to get the mid-range jump shots in. You know, that's 2 at point-blank range that, you know, he needs to be about 80-85% from the field. You know, because they're giving him them shots. They're so focused on Delaney that the bigs can't come off of Delaney. If he could consistently make that mid-range jump shot there or that teardrop floater, man, you can see his points go up, but this team can go a lot further.
Delaney got tied up. Bloomfield Tech ball. Wisniewski will sit in favor of Collinsworth. They've only gone 7 deep today with Collinsworth and Gibson off the bench. It's been about the same for Bloomfield Tech with Jones and Bullock Harris as the subs. I don't blame either side. Their starting fives have been pretty good. Kevin Crawford has gone 21-7, 25-3, 28-3 in his first 3 years at Pitman. Had a couple of down years and got this team back to where they needed to be here at 24-7. And down years are probably 20-win seasons for him. Final 10 seconds of the third. A long three by Pierre. Pitman takes their largest lead to the fourth quarter. And the Crawford Crazies are getting into this one. They are 8 minutes from the Tournament of Champions. Pitman by 12 on Verizon Fios 1 Sports, the Star Ledger, and NJ.com in the Group 1 state title game. Today's game brought to you by Watch ESPN, your favorite ESPN sports and shows live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Watch ESPN, it's the other way to watch ESPN. Danny Breslauer, Devale Ellis, back with you at the Rutgers Athletic Center in Piscataway. Group 1 state title game, 6th and final Tournament of Champions berth to be punched. Pitman 37, Bloomfield Tech 25 after 3 quarters. Devale for the Panthers, they're 24-7. They only allow 45 points per game. Point Beach only got 36 in that state semi. And in their sectional final, they held Shalleck, which averaged 73 points a game to 51.
I mean, we can see why here, man. Delaney is just a huge force inside, but also their guards do a great job of ball control. You see how they slow things down. They take a lot of time off the shot clock just to eliminate the opposing team's opportunities, and they don't give up easy baskets in the paint.
Stafford will trigger things to start the fourth quarter. Foreman, the steadying senior guard, resets and drives. What a steal by Delaney.
Man, textbook. That looked like Big East basketball right there. Seal.
And a great bounce.
You're right, Danny, though. Great bounce pass.
The Spicer look, yep. Well, this is really, really dangerous positioning for Bloomfield Tech as Pitman's on a 19-5 run. And a foul on Jones.
Kick back out, inside. Look at the bounce pass. It doesn't get any prettier than that. It doesn't really. 2 dribbles, bounce pass. Put it only where your big can get it. Let him go out and make a play.
Kevin Crawford called Tim Delaney his go-to guy on most possessions, and you're starting to see why. Pitman is 7 minutes away from its first state title in 16 years. Foreman!
Don't take but you see, that right there is exactly what I was talking about. His ability to get to the basket. They're scared to come off of Delaney. He has to be able to finish, and when he finishes like that, I don't think anyone can stop this team.
That's a great Euro step by Dixon Conover, who breaks the Bloomfield Tech schneid. He has 5. It's a 14-point game as Dixon Conover is hobbled. There aren't many possessions left in this game, and Pitman has it their way. And Foreman walks. He was a little indecisive.
Another great pass, but it took a quick hop step there, which drew the whistle.
3 years ago, they had a duo named Luke Dixon and Dylan Colgate who played for Pitman. They went to the state championship game and lost to Paulsboro. There was a freshman, Eric Stafford, on that team, who was a shooter. Didn't do much else back then. Tim Delaney then came in the next year with him, and now they've built towards this game.
Well, it seems as if that experience now has prepared them, because they seem steady and ready for this run. Only 5:51 remaining in the game, and they seem strong defensively. Foreman
with a foul there. It's his 4th, and it's the 7th on Bloomfield Tech, so it's 1-1.
Oh, that's tough for 2 reasons. If I'm Pitman right now, I'm attacking Lunsford, trying to get him out the game. He's either going to have to play softer not to draw the foul, or he's going to get another foul and be out of the game. And that's a 6'7" guy, the only guy pretty much you hear that can match up body-wise on Delaney.
Well, this is fun, because right now you're starting to see why Pitman is where they are. 9 and 5 for Wisniewski. And a big free throw. 3 double-digit scores today. And if you told Kevin Crawford before the game that he'd have 3 in double figures and none of them would be Stafford,
he'd laugh at you.
Yeah. Strong board by Burke. 15-point game is a Pitman biggest lead. Check that, they led by 16 at 41-25. Bloomfield Tech was challenged through states, and they had come back a bunch of times. And maybe Cinderella, in terms of the slipper fitting for comebacks, maybe she hasn't shown up tonight. Short on the 3 by Dixon Conover. The board to Stafford.
Stafford dribbles it out. Gets the ball back over to the court general. As you can hear the crowd, they can sense it. 15 points, 5 minutes, decision.
Foreman will shoot a pair.
And look how slow Lunsford was to come off because of Delaney. Look at Foreman drive. You know, he's not the most athletic guard we've seen, but his change of pace makes him sneaky fast. You know, he's quick. If you don't stick with him, he'll blow by you. You know, if you overplay, he can stop.
Kevin Crawford's Division II assessment is probably perfect for him. He has 13 to go along with 8 rebounds. Timeout, and it's a full for Brad Howard as Pitman's fans rise as one.
16 years ago, seems as if they got one in the bags here. I mean, we got 5 minutes left, but it seems as if all the momentum is on the Pitman side.
Group 1 champs. For years it was dominated by Bloomfield Tech on the front side there with Butler, Drummond, and Nelson. Science Park and University of Newark, they were sprinkled in there too. Asbury Park with those great football and basketball teams there a couple of years ago. And Point Pleasant Beach with Matt Farrell, who will go to Notre Dame. Will Pitman be on that list? And 16 years ago it was against this exact team.
They just seem so composed, Danny. And they have some key guys.
We're at the Rutgers Athletic Center in Piscataway, New Jersey. NJSIA Boys Group 1 Championship in basketball. Pitman and Bloomfield Tech. Danny Breslauer, Devale Ellis here with you, the entire Verizon Fios 1 Sports crew with Star Leisure and NJ.com. Devale, if you're Bloomfield Tech, 5 minutes and 16 points. What is your emphasis as Kevin Crawford looks to get a state title?
Got to play strong defense, got to force turnovers, and you got to score fast.
In the paint today, 32-8 in favor of Pitman. Foreman hits both.
Pressing. This is what I say. We have to press scoring. Quick buckets.
Jones at Delaney, and the good tip by Lunsford. It's his first points.
I was expecting some sort of pressure. I didn't expect him to let Pitman just walk the ball up.
It's a very good point. When you're dealing with a half-court team, they're probably not as accustomed to breaking presses. Stafford is rejected by Lunsford. Delaney's waiting right there for the drop-in.
And that was good defense. Just a bad bounce there for Bloomfield Tech. They're going to have to continue to play defense like that if they want to get back in the basketball game.
Dixon Conover is going to shoot too, as it looks like they got Stafford for a bump. Delaney now has 16 after this.
As you can see here, man, that's good defense. Good defense is just guys ready to run back on offense, not staying near the corral. The deflected, or the block shot, excuse me.
Collinsworth out. Spicer back in for Pitman. He had that great pass to Delaney before. Nearly midway through the fourth here, Pitman is well in control. The largest lead of 17. And a good three by Jones. It is his third triple. He has 9 points.
Now, the last time they got back in the basketball game, they had a couple of threes fall for them.
But Foreman answering at the other end has 16 to equal the game high.
Listen, they're going to have to stop the ball, though. Foreman's getting to the basket whenever he wants.
Burke finishes, and he's kept Bloomfield Tech around. This is the pace Bloomfield Tech wants. If I'm Kevin Crawford, I might burn a timeout, slow my team down.
You see, the only issue is if you're Bloomfield Tech, you can't trade baskets. You got to get stops. And if you're Pitman, you don't mind. You don't mind trading baskets. You're up by 16 points.
Stafford seems like he has the eye of the tiger to the hole.
Now, if Stafford's going to make shots like that against that type of defense, man, there's not much you can do if you're Bloomfield Tech.
Pierre drills a three. It's his second three, 9 points. Pittman's lead is 13. Inside the final 3 minutes, Bloomfield Tech is just 4 of 17 from three-point range. Good find to Delaney down low, a lefty hook.
And that's easy for him. That's easy for him. I'm telling you, Delaney and Foreman have this great groove right now. It's tough to defend. As long as Foreman's able to score, and you can see there, right? Pitman didn't foul because you don't want to stop the clock. Give up the 2. We're up by 13 points. We can score whenever we want.
Burke got it. He has 14, but it's still a 13-point lead for Pitman after all of that. 52-39, 233 away from a state title. This week was a hectic one for Kevin Crawford and Pitman. They win South Jersey on Monday night over AP Shalleck. Kevin Crawford's wife goes into labor right after the game. They go to the hospital. She does not have the baby that night. They return home. They come back Tuesday when she gives birth to their 3rd child. He then takes a bus an hour and a half to Point Pleasant Beach, wins the Group 1 state semi, drives home, meets his newborn, and takes his 2 kids that are already with him to practice the next day. And then speaks to me about this game.
Just another day at the office. That's just another day at the office. I mean,
I would hope he took a personal day from his history class.
He probably didn't. He probably didn't. You know how these coaches are, man. They put everything into these programs. Coach Crawford, look at the stands. If we can get a shot of the stands and the shirts of how much support he gets from these kids. He puts just as much into these kids as you can see all the Crawford shirts there. You know, the community, the school, they're all invested in this program. And I'm pretty sure as soon as the baby's able to come up here, he's going to be dribbling a basketball right on the court.
Very happy we got that in. The story we've been working on all week with Coach Crawford.
It's a great story.
Foreman is bumped. He'll shoot 1 and 1. It's on Burke. A lot of people subscribe to this theory, Devale, that around this time in the game, 2:30, if you're not within 10 points, you need to start fouling to stretch the game out.
Well, I mean, I can understand that. You got to stop the clock. You hope, they go 1 and 1. They miss one, and if you can hit a couple baskets, you can kind of inch back in the basketball game. What happens is it forces your opponents to hit 2 buckets for every score. And mathematically, it makes sense.
How clutch has this kid been? Darnell Foreman.
Extremely.
He has 18 points without hitting a 3.
If you ask me, he's the whole reason why this game is going the way it is.
Delaney has 18 of his own as well.
He's controlled the pace of the game. He's made great decisions.
Pierre misses the floater. Rebound Stafford. Pitman has numbers. Oh, what a shot fake by Delaney, and he'll shoot 2 as Lunsford fouls out.
And I think that right there may be the end of the basketball game. Forget about these 2 free throws. If he makes these 2 free throws, it goes up by 16 points. But you lose Lunsford. You lose 6 foot 7 inches of defense for a guy who's been pretty much unstoppable when he gets the ball in the paint anyway.
They'll go to the side and talk about things. It's a small school, Pitman. It's all about getting the talent and riding the wave. They had that with Luke Dixon and Dylan Colgate a few years ago. They had it 16 years ago with Joe and John Crispin as David Lunsford, to end his Bloomfield Tech career, gets an embrace from Brad Howard. Remember, he said he was the team dad. That'll be a tough kid to replace.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Delaney has 19-8 now. That's the emotion of the state tournament there.
These kids have so much invested. You know, they give so much of their time, not just the, you know, people don't understand when you play a sport, you spend almost, I'd say, 4 times as much time practicing as you do actually playing the game.
Michael Scooby Gibson is back in. 2 minutes to go in the game. Pitman back up by that biggest lead of 17. And that board by Stafford could be just about it as Pitman gets it back. It has been 16 long years since back-to-back titles. Those Crispin brothers, they went to Penn State. And you ask anybody in that small town in Gloucester County, near Camden, near Washington Township, about the Crispin brothers, and they'll speak fondly of the duo that went out to State College, knocked off UNC.
It's what you call leaving a legacy.
That's how you break a press.
Absolutely.
Scooby Gibson the finish.
Textbook. But they've been textbook and clean all day, Danny.
And Burke won't let them go away without a fight.
Take a look at the press. First of all, the pass, backdoor, finish. You can't draw it up any better. That's exactly how you break a press. One bounce.
Burke's another guy that has scored a bunch of points today without hitting a 3. He has 15. The lead is 18 for Pitman. Steele on the inbounds. And Dixon Conover will shoot 2. Last thing that Pitman wants is the clock stopping here at 1:28. Remember, on made baskets in high school, the clock does not stop, and there's no shot clock in New Jersey.
Right. Pitman needs to get this ball across half court.
Exactly. Once they do that, it may be over. But Dixon Conover, who's been quiet since the first half, misses the first. Brad Howard said it was just a thrill to get here to Rutgers. Have a chance at another title. But it looks like they'll fall short today.
And I mean, it has to be exciting for these kids. You know, they put so much time in, play at the state school.
Bloomfield Tech led just once in this game at 20-18. Otherwise, Pitman the whole way. Stafford will shoot 2, as that's over the limit for Bloomfield Tech.
Did you see the patience from the court general? Did you see the patience?
I did, sir. I did.
Slows the team down. I got this, guys.
Time to reach into the bench for Kevin Crawford as Andrew Sawyer will go to the scorer's table. And Stafford quietly having himself a decent night. Great round of applause for Wisniewski, who was all over the place defensively. $17-point advantage. Jones hits a 4th 3. That's all 12 of his points. And Brad Howard can't take the timeouts home, might as well use them. 1:02 left in the 4th, and Tim Delaney, 20 points. The junior will be going to Villanova in a year and a half, but playing so well tonight.
Yeah, very, very physical game down low, textbook game. Made a lot of shots. You know, we would call these difficult shots for normal athletes at the high school level, but, you know, he's 6'9", broad shoulders, very strong, falling away from the basket, bouncing off the backboard. You can see here, Great stop. The hop step, goes up strong with the left baby hook and finishes strong. Also had a great seal there.
I have a feeling we'll hear from him and his head coach after the game about today's contest. 20 and 10. Double-double for Tim Delaney.
It's what he does.
Eric Stafford as well has 9 points and 12 rebounds. Very quietly. Only 9 turnovers for Pitman, only 8 for Bloomfield Tech. Clean game with a minute to go and a 14-point lead for Pitman. And I think Brad Howard told his team, play tough defense, no need to foul necessarily. If you can force a turnover, great. If not, gave it our all. The Pitman students are feeling it.
Great job by the staff. Great job by the students. What an effort by Pitman to come in here with the job they were able to do defensively and just keep Bloomfield Tech at bay.
Timeout, Kevin Crawford. He wants to get the reserves a chance to go on the court at the rack and get the Stars out. Listen to this crowd. Drew Davenport, Jay Emwake on, 2 seniors. Remember, there are 8 seniors on this team. A chance to get all of them out there. This is a pretty cool moment.
It's a great moment. Classy move by the coach. Get a standing ovation from your fans for your seniors. What a way to go out.
Tournament of Champions is on the horizon, DeVale, and it is going to be a good one. We don't know what the seeds are just yet. That'll be determined later tonight. But DeVale, I'll say that St. Joe's, Metuchen, and Roselle Catholic are your privates. Linden, along with Newark Eastside, the #1 team in the Star Ledger Top 20. Also, Newark Tech and Pitman with Darnell Foreman, the point guard, who's been great.
You can see, look here, man, Foreman just busy all day. I called him the court general because his decisions, look at his eyes. That's the shot he's going to have to make if they want to keep moving on in this tournament. Look at the decisions to change the pace, gets to the basket, and what we don't have here in this package, man, is a lot of the passes. As he finishes, goes over the top, finishes with the bucket, screams at the crowd. He's played with that type of energy the entire day. We saw him there score baskets, but he did so much more with his decision-making and his ability to spread the wealth and also get Tim Delaney involved early. That's a dynamic duo there by Foreman and Delaney, just working that paint area. Not to mention Stafford, averaging 12 points a game.
A little 1-4 high on the inbounds for the backups, the play you learn in middle school. Across midcourt with 20 seconds. Bloomfield Tech gets the basketball. They have their reserves into Rashad Reed, along with Williams Reynolds, Jalen Bryan. 3 for Bullock Harris, and he'll hit it. 3 seconds on the clock. And for the first time since 1998, Pitman has a state title in Group 1.
Look at the excitement, Danny.
The Crawford Crazies willed them to victory. 59-48. Pitman beats Bloomfield Tech to go to the Tournament of Champions.
Man, I enjoyed watching this game today. I can tell you right now, this Pitman defense is extremely strong. They went against an athletic Bloomfield Tech team, but they were excited about the game. They were dominant. They were efficient on offense, and they're your champions.
We'll return to wrap things up. Pitman 59, Bloomfield Tech 48. The Group 1 championship to Pitman. They get the 6th and final TOC spot. We'll come back with the postgame on Verizon Fios 1 Sports with the Star Ledger and NJ.com. Pitman is the Group 1 state champions. We're joined by Tim Delaney and Kevin Crawford, the head coach. We'll start with Tim. How about that student section and the Crawford Crazies for you today?
No, they're amazing. They've been here all year, just showing up to every big game, every small game, so extremely thankful for them. Make every game fun no matter what the score is.
Early emphasis going inside to you. You had a lot going there with the turnarounds in the first quarter. Did you see that opening up?
Yeah, I mean, I try to take whatever they give me, and they were letting me post up, so I just go to work.
Tournament of Champions for Pitman. What does that phrase mean to you?
Third state championship in school history, and we're making history right now. It's amazing.
Tim, congrats.
Thank you.
Now to Kevin Crawford, the head coach. It's your 6th year. When you get to the Tournament of Champions, you had some great teams in those first few years. Can you sum up the emotions right now?
Tonight we played for everybody that's ever played at Pitman High School that never got one. And, it's a great town, it's a great school, and we just played with pride, and we played defense, and we fed the big boy. The big boy likes to eat. We got to feed him, so that was the difference tonight.
And you certainly got balanced scoring, too. Delaney, Foreman, Wisniewski, Stafford, they all got in on the act. Having balanced scoring like that, has that been a staple for you all year?
Everybody contributed. Everybody has contributed all year. It's been a fantastic group of kids. We battled through a couple close losses, a couple injuries, but we got the job done. It's an up and down season, and we're up at the right time, and we're excited to bring a state championship trophy back to Gloucester County, back to Pitman High School, and back to the Tri-County Conference.
And lastly, what's it like for you knowing maybe the number 1 team in the state in Newark East Side could be looming there in the Tournament of Champions?
We're just going to enjoy tonight. We're going to celebrate tonight, and we'll go back tomorrow and break down the film. I have a feeling Newark East Side will be a 1 or 2 seed. I have a feeling we'll be a 6 seed, so I don't think we'll play them. But, Roselle Catholic and Briscoe and whoever they set us up with, it's a very, very deep field when you're talking about a number 1 team in the state, Newark East Side, or a St. Joseph's of Metuchen, or a Roselle Catholic. You're going to get one of those teams. Maybe we'll get the 5 seed, and we'll get somebody that, is at least human.
Congrats on the birth of your 3rd child as well as the Group 1 title.
Thank you. My son, Ronan, has been a blessing. I got 3 little boys, Kieran, Shawnee, and Ronan. When Sean was born, the Phillies won the World Series. So maybe I have a couple more kids. Maybe the Eagles finally win one.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
That's Kevin Crawford, the head coach of Pitman. They take the Group 1 title today over Bloomfield Tech. The Tournament of Champions is now set. Thanks for tuning in. So many thank yous to send out to our entire Verizon Fios One Sports crew, led by our producer-director, Frank Lasquadro. For Devale Ellis, I'm Danny Breslauer. So long from Rutgers University. Pitman, the Group 1 champs for the first time in 16 years.
This has been a special presentation of Verizon Fios One Sports.